The relevance can never be overstated. We are looking at the role of security forces or security generally in ensuring or safeguarding the elections. We have an election a few days from now. The processes have begun. Nominations soon round the corner. And the big question that is on the mind or the lips of everybody is what's going to be the role of security? All these things that are being discussed, you know, we are going to be discussing everything here and now. Let me start with General David. From your vantage position as in charge of defense forces in this country, how do you think you're supposed to secure an election for the country and ensure that it is free, it is safe, it is all those nice, good things that go with it, especially for you lawyers when they say, when they talk about a general election?
Thank you, Mr. Odongotho. Maybe I'll start by giving a broad brush of elections in this country, yeah, and the role of security. This is not the first election, and neither is it the last one. So we have secured elections in the past, supporting the police, of course, and we will do this time round. What is a little bit peculiar this time is we are holding elections in the context of COVID. We are also holding elections within the context of both traditional and emerging threats. So all those we are going to take into account as we support the police to do our role. But if I'm specific to the EPDF, our role is, I think, twofold. One, to vote, because we are also citizens of this country. And number two, to do our core function of national defense, which is even more critical this time round as we hold elections. It's an enduring function we must carry out. And then, of course, this other one of supporting the police to secure this election. But also, there are other players, key among them, the ones I need to mention, are especially the EC, which is the principal actor here, and who we all support, and then the police, which is the key player in the area of securing this election, and whom we shall be supporting. So I think that one gives an overview. Probably for the layman would want to know, out there would want to know, they know that it is the civil police that is supposed to be the main vanguard of an election. At what point should a lay Ugandan expect or even anticipate the intervention of the men in military uniform? Is it predictable? Can Commander David predict that at this point we think that we need to bring in the military and not to back up the police? Our investment in this job is dependent on information, the information we get. And we, in our plans, joint plans with the police, we are prevention heavy. It's not a matter of escalation and then you say at this point in time, because it's also not precisely predictable what happens or what doesn't happen. So I think it's better to organize heavily on prevention in order to avoid mistakes and all those things. So I think we shall be involved from the start. We shall be visible. But still the lead people are the police. Okay. The lead commandant, AIGP Asan, by the way, congratulations, and we are happy that you're back on your feet. And a few days ago, I got scared when I saw the breaking news
from yourself, of course, that I'm positive, unfortunately, and I said, God help our friend, and may he come back and serve. We thank God for that. That was a battle on its own. But General David says that you are the lead personnel in ensuring that there is a free, fair, credible election, if you like, and that you participate in ensuring that. There have been complaints from sections of the public, the list, of course, from the opposition, that say that you're partisan, you misuse the Public Order Management Act. Are you partisan? Are you a biased police? You need to answer that question. Are you? Or what exactly happens that make people misunderstand you?
Thank you so much, Charles. Definitely, we are not partisan. When you have contending and competing, groups in an election, there are going to be a lot of agitations, and definitely people thinking you are partisan. But I can assure you that amidst all that, the police are not partisan. This is not the first election, as General has said, Uganda has had. It isn't even going to be the last. But I think that we stood tall when it came to securing these elections amidst, calls of being partisan. I think at the end of the day, we have a duty, we have a mandate to discharge. And that mandate is to make sure that there is a conducive environment, security environment, that where people go out and cast their votes, which we have done. But there is also a mandate of making sure that crimes, first of all, we must be preventive heavy. At the same time, we must also be cognizant that all those who commit crimes are investigated and brought to book. I think these charges are going to be the parameters under which you judge us. First of all, have people gone to the polls and they have cast their vote. I know everywhere in the whole world you are going to get these issues. Even in the US, we hear these issues, oh, I didn't vote, and that kind of thing. But by and large, the police have done this, and I can assure you we are going to do that. We are going to ensure that people go to the polls and they are not disenfranchised. Then the other issue is to make sure that even those who get involved in malpractices, those who get involved in other crimes and that kind of thing, are also brought to book, and the police have done that. Even you look even in the, I know there were some challenges during the primaries, but by and large the police and our colleagues did a good job, and I can assure you that you judge us by those parameters, and we shall test and we shall pass the test of time. So this question of being partisan, it's not true, and as I have said, you can judge us from what we are doing.
How do we ensure that your message of saying we are not partisan reaches the common actor, the politicians, who keep singing that you are actually partisan? Because for me, as a Ugandan, I want to rest assured that actually what Asan Kasingye says is true, and I can say because of this evidence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so leave the rest to be, up to the public to judge. How do you ensure that as the chief political commissar? Sensitization, education?
Yeah, Charles, thank you so much. I think we are doing a lot. First of all, we have had something like a year from the roadmap given to us by the EC. From August up to now, we have had a year of our combined joint task force meetings, where we have had planning, where we have had training, where we have had some recruitment that have taken place, where we have also had meetings with our commanders on the ground,